No. Oh.
Okay, so we're back. My son was in need of attention, so needless to say, everybody knows how babies are. I was saying about my seasoning. I have some garlic powder, some Italian seasoning. I also use Goya. I like this season. I know a lot of Hispanics use this season, but this season is lovely. It's just a melody of different blend of seasoning, and I like it on my seafood, and I also like it on my vegetables. It tastes real good. Onion powder, I live for onion powder, and black pepper. So I'll be seasoning my fried cabbage in layers. So the fried cabbage, you see, as it is steaming, it looks pretty. It still has its crunch, and I'm gonna put in my first. Now I really don't measure when it comes to seasoning, because this is where I say I cook from the soul. So it's whatever I feel that it, the taste is there. This is how I season. Now you can measure it, and I would say for this whole dish of this pot right here, it'll take maybe a teaspoon of each, I would say, or a tablespoon. But like I said, I really don't measure my seasoning. I just cook from the heart, from the soul. And whatever that's, I feel is tasteful. Now, I do taste as you go along. You can adjust your taste. Because to everybody, what can be salty to me could be fresh to you. So that's just a rule of thumb. Now, I'm letting that cook down a little bit. I'm going to add my onions and some of my leeks. Like I said, I like to cook in layers. It just, to me, it seems like it makes the food taste even better. Because it's like you know that you're taking your time.
Look good.
I know.
Colorful.
That's why y'all love it so. This is like one of my favorite pots to use. But I have a saucepan, and you can also do it in your saucepan. You don't have to make this big batch, but I always make a big batch because, like I said, I have family that eats. So you have to feed the people. And I also like to clean as I go. When I make a mess, I always have to clean it up. Okay, so my chicken has been sitting and draining. And I am going to start on my chicken. Clean up some of my mess right here. That's why I always have a handy bag next to me. So I have to travel far to the trash can. So everything's in the trash. A towel, dry my hand. So that's going to cook down. The cabbage is going to cook down for a good maybe 10-15 minutes before I add another layer into it. Push that to the side. Alright, let's play a little switcheroo. Like I said, this is live TV, guys. Live TV. Things happen live. Live with Susan. Okay, so I have my mixture of my seasoning. There's the basic seasonings that I use, and then I add a little jerk seasoning in it because we like it spicy around here. And then I have my all-purpose flour, and I have 3 eggs really beaten in this bowl right here. So I'm gonna do my layered chicken. First, you always, like I say, you gotta wash your chicken, make sure it's nice and clean, feather free and everything. You don't want your family choking on a feather, do you? Okay. So I dip my chicken in my egg wash first. Open egg wash. And then I like to dip it in my seasoning. So I make sure the seasoning is covering the chicken. Then I dip it into my flour. Or dredge it into my flour. And some people leave it open like that, but I like to crisscross my chicken. And hopefully, now I'm going to dip it in my eggs. And then back into my flour. So it'll be nice and crispy. And then I'm going to carry my bowl with me. Make sure my flour, my grease is hot by testing it just like that. See how it sizzles and bubbles? That means that grease is nice and hot, and you want to gently place it into the grease. Like that. You don't want your grease to splatter everywhere. Now I'm going to do our next chicken. Open chicken into the egg wash. Then into your seasoning. Then into your flour. And at this point, you want to pick up speed just a little bit because you don't want all your chicken to be cooked at an uneven temperature. Like meaning one will be done more than the other. And the way you can tell that your chicken is done in a deep pan like that is that it floats. Yes, chicken do float. And then I want to crisscross it. I'll put a little bit more flour on it. And you want to pat your flour. Yes, your hands will get messy, so don't be afraid of it being messy. Because there's soap and water. You can always wash your hands. And you want to place that chicken right into that pan. Just like that. Now I'm going to put 3 in the pan like that at a time. Because it's not that big of a pan. But, oh, I'm about to skip a step. You know, I decided I wanted to share my experience with cooking because I know I've learned a lot from my mother and my father. And they were, when I was little, they all used to be in the kitchen cooking. And my mama, she is known for her fried chicken. Now, I know my chicken don't do hers justice, but I put my own spin on it. And everybody's been talking about my fried chicken.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I give credit to my mom and my dad for teaching me how to cook, and I carry on that tradition. You can smell that chicken already, understand?
And taste it too.
Let that just cook for, now wings cook shorter time than legs and thighs. So we're going to let that cook for a while, and I'll be right back.